Massis has been the talk of the town there. We're waiting on Jamad McCoy to kind of make some ground here. What did you see from the corners, whether it's in one-on-ones or team in general, as that whole conversation goes?
I think when it comes to Masters, I think you see. I think he has a lot of potential. I think
Yeah.
he has. He looks really smooth out there. I think you got someone who knows how to make plays on the ball in terms of deflecting passes. It was just play throwing one-on-ones where he was guarding Malik Benson, and I forgot. I think it was either Cousins or Mendoza. I think it was Mendoza. They threw a ball deep down the sideline, and he made a play at the last minute to
Yeah.
get the to make up to touch the ball. And I was like,
That
wow, he
diving
was able to,
PBU, yeah.
yeah, he made it was a diving PBU where he extended his hand late, 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 and was able to make a play on the ball. So he's been getting a ton of first team reps. I think he's looked solid. And I think from what I've seen, I think Jamal McCoy, he still has a lot more stuff to prove, and he's just coming back from. He hasn't the coaching staff said he hasn't played football in over a year.
The fact that
So
he's been out there for every
it's
practice
impressive.
consistently every
That is
day,
true.
that is a massive win for him, I think. And
Yeah,
that's not like a lob or like, oh, that should be like, standard. Like it should be for other guys. He's in a different situation. So that's huge for
Yeah.
him.
yeah, and that's a credit to the plan that they put him in, the medical staff, to get him to this point, because
Yeah.
like he's out there. He's starting to get first team reps now. We've seen a handful of times the twos and the threes. So like from a mobility standpoint, he has looked well. There are times like during one-on-ones during team period where he's been flagged for either defensive pass interference or defensive holding. It happens. It's football. He still
Yeah.
has. He's still trying to get adjusted, but in terms of how he looks from a mobility standpoint, man, he looks good. Like he looks really
Yeah.
good, and that's a step forward that they need. But they're based on what we've seen, they're going to rely on a fairly young secondary. So it's a
That is
secondary that
true.
has a lot of upside. They have a lot of upside there,
Yeah.
and you see the potential in McCoy and Masters and Porter, but are they going to be ready for when it's time to play against the Seattle Seahawks, against the LA
Yeah.
Rams, against the San Francisco 49ers, against the Buffalo Bills? So are they going to be ready for that? So my thing is this: it's going to be excuse me, going to this training camp. This was a position group I had my eye on just for that reason, and I'm
Yeah.
continuing to have my eye on that because is this a situation? Do you, as good as their potential is there still room to maybe add another outside cornerback, whether it's through trade or free agency, in case, just more as security, like as
Yeah.
insurance, just in case those three guys, cannot produce consistently once the regular season goes around.
Hmm.
Yeah. And for Masses, like he's another guy that like you guys put me on as well, and it would be another player that I was like going into training camp wondering how he was gonna look, and seeing the tweets like when you guys are saying like, oh, he's been running with the first team opposite of Eric Stokes. I'm like, damn, he must be
You're like,
like
hold up,
doing
that's a
something good
fifth
over
round
there.
pick.
Like he must be good or something,
Yeah.
like because all of we could kind of go off is like just tweets or stuff like that. But like I said, going to training camp and seeing him out there, like I said, that one on one, that was the thing I was talking about. What Ryan was saying, like just seeing him out there, just putting in that effort, even just to make a play, and knowing where he started from, like a fifth round pick to where
Hmm.
right now he's like competing for a starting job. Like he's a guy that definitely stands out for sure. Same thing with Jamal McCoy, just seeing him out there doing his thing and just running through practices and not just being limited. He's running full practices, especially in pads. And that's somebody I didn't know if he was going to be good to go this season, but he's still somebody with a lot of potential. Like outside of that, like Eric Stokes is gonna be Eric Stokes, right? Like he's
Yeah.
been solid as well. My question is like, for you guys, because you guys know more, is do you feel who you guys feel more comfortable with, like opposite of Eric Stokes, if it had to be between Masses or Darian Porter, like
Ooh,
right
between those
now?
two?
Yeah, yeah, because I know that's another
Yeah.
guy that, well, he was quote unquote supposed to be like the guy opposite of Eric Stokes, but it seems like
Yeah,
there's more
yeah.
of competition now.
At this stage, and again, it is so early, and I need to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
more. But at this stage, I personally, and I hate that I'm even saying this, as bad as it was last year, I'd feel more comfortable with Porter starting over Massis, just because
Okay.
of the tackling element of it. We know that Porter's a big special teams guy. He's banked a ton of reps of that. We've seen him tackle. We've seen him do that. He's got the freakish athleticism as well, the speed, the length, all that different stuff. I think as a sophomore, quote unquote, sophomore season, I think I would trust him a little bit more, like if they were starting the season right now, with the caveat that like if Massis keeps doing what he's doing and we can really see him like tackle in the preseason game on the edge, because teams will attack a light dude like that. They'll run to the outside towards his side. If he can do that, then I'd say Massis all day, given what he's shown us. Ryan, what do you think?
I also pick Darian Porter at the moment, just like you said, Jesse. Just he like the tackling element. That was the same thing. This with Darian Porter, that was his issue against Seattle, and that first preseason game last year was a tackling element. He got a lot of first team reps during training camp. He gets in game situation, and he fell down the depth chart because he had a hard time tackling. So they had to work on that with him. So. But as the season went on last year, he got better at that. The coaching staff know he got better at that. So out of those three, that's your most experienced guy right there on the outside, on opposite Eric Stokes. So I'll probably roll from the beginning. Now that can change depending on how Massis looks in preseason games in terms of from that tackling element. We know what he does from a ball skill standpoint. That's why. Standpoint. With that said, that's why I said that's still a position to monitor in terms of do they go out and add another outside corner, like a better outside cornerback, just for that reason, because they're so young and Massis has shown a lot of upside, but we still don't know what he's going to look like in game situations. Jamal McCoy, they're still slowly working him back, so we really don't know. Is he going to be on a snap count? How is he going to play after being away from football for so long? And Darian Porter going a year or two, is he going to take the necessary steps needed? Because he is still a fairly young cornerback, because he started his career as a wide receiver. He really didn't start at corner at Iowa State until the latter stages of his career. I think the most games he started was that final season at Iowa State, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot of youth and experience there. And McCoy, going back to McCoy, I think he's only 20 years old. So I don't even think he's like 20 or 21 years old. So he's still really, really young. So I think as much positive we've seen from those young corners, I still think it wouldn't be surprising if we get into these preseason games and deeper into the training camp. We are asking ourselves, do they need some assurance there in case those three guys are really not ready to go come week one?
Yeah, Jermad's going to be 21 on August 16th, so still so young, which is crazy, right? Crazy. I think he's going to make a run, honestly. If you asked me this question 2 weeks from now, I wouldn't be shocked if I'm sitting here saying, give me McCoy, even though maybe it's been in light work, not knowing how he's going to respond to an actual NFL game, how many snaps that would be. I'm just kind of waiting, and it feels like the staff is waiting as well to really let this kid make a run. And to me, when I watch him, he just looks smooth. He doesn't look like a 20-year-old. I knew he was young. I didn't realize he was only 20. He just looks smooth. I know Trey, he was joking around saying that he calls him the Rook. That's he gave him the nickname of Rook. Real creative, by the way, Trey. You're smarter than that, man. Come on. But you know what I mean? He's calling him Rook, and I'm like, this kid doesn't look like a rookie out there when I watch him. And so I'm really interested to see what it's going to be like, going forward for him once he really settles in. And they kind of almost let him off the leash, for lack of a better word, to be able to go and do his thing. I think there's going to be some real moves that are made by him going forward. I feel like we should kind of keep this moving, though, and talk about the D-line, because that's another thing that I think that's a really interesting unit there. I would love your thoughts on Tonka Hemingway, and TJ, you too, just because you've heard us talking him up a lot. That seems like a dude that's primed for a much bigger role, right?
Oh, for sure.
For sure. I think when you look at Tonka, when you look at the team period, out of all the guys they have rotated within the defensive line, I don't think he's left the field on first team reps. I've seen him play alongside Jonah. I've seen him play alongside Booker and Adam Butler, but he has been a mainstay up front in the trenches. He's been a constant guy, and he's looked really good. He ended the regular season, his rookie season, on a high note. He recorded 4 sacks in 5 games, during his training camp, he's been effective in stopping the run. We've seen him get some solid pass rush snaps a few times.
He was giving people the business in one-on-ones too, man. He put a couple
Caleb and JPJ, bro.
I was like, well, yeah, it was crazy. I was like, yo, what? He even fell and then got up and give JPJ the business. I was like, damn, dude.
And then going to yesterday's practice, I think there was a rep where in yesterday's practice, I thought the defense shined and they had a really, really good day. And there was a rep where he got up the middle, and if this was a live game, he probably would have sacked Kirk Cousins or at least forced him to throw an incompletion. He got there really quick. And this is